Hi there, my darling Aries. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Aries, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation oracle cards, and then we'll do 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight tarot cards, and then we will finish off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Aries. What messages does Aries need to know? So we should be out of that Mercury retro shadow by now, which is nice. So things should start to move forward a little bit if they've been a bit stalled. But let us get messages for you. Reveal what needs to be seen. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. So I love that. Reveal what needs to be seen. So maybe, my darling Aries, there has been something hidden that, now that, during that Mercury retrograde. So now that Mercury retrograde is over and things, can start to move forward, maybe it's time to reveal that new project you've been working on. Maybe it's time to reveal, someone that you're, going out with or that you've been keeping to yourself. I feel for you that this week is going to be, my darling Aries, a good time for you to, like it says, reveal what needs to be seen. So if you have been, following the rules of Mercury retrograde and holding back and not releasing something and just, working on it behind the scenes and things like that, I am feeling that this week may be a good week for you, my darling Aries, to reveal what needs to be seen. Alrighty, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Aries. What does Aries need to know for this week of August 18th? Wheel of Fortune, yeah, love it. 3 of Wands, expansion. Yeah, and there's Chariot. There's your green light, my darling Aries, to move forward. Yeah, I love it when all the cards, are in sync. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I will intuitively put the reading together. So you start here with the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot is that card of the fortunes turning, my darling Aries. Now, whether that turns in your favor or against you will be up to you, my darling Aries. So, there are, certain rules that go along with, the Wheel of Fortune. There is, it is definitely a sign of fortunes turning, but whether the fortunes are turning in your favor or not in your favor is going to be up to you, my darling Aries. So you are in control here. You are controlling the way the wheel spins, my darling Aries. Only you can control the way the wheel spins. Never leave to chance anything that's important to you, my darling. Sorry, I'm just going to turn that onto silent. Never leave to chance what is important to you, my darling Aries, because, if you allow the wheel to spin in whichever direction, it wants to go itself, then you will be out of control, or your life will be out of control. I feel that you need to take control here, my darling Aries, and that shouldn't be hard for you, being the beautiful fire sign that you are. Taking control is, your card is the Emperor. He is all about being in control, sometimes controlling, but I feel in this instance it's going to be worth it for you to control the way the wheel spins. Control, whatever needs, whatever you need to reveal, whatever, project you've been working on, it's up to you to control when this is released. It is up to you to control how or when you tell people, my darling Aries. That's what I'm getting for you off the Wheel of Fortune here. But I do feel you have great potential of this, fortunes turning in your favor for sure. but as long as you take control and you don't leave it to chance, my darling Aries. Because then you have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is all about, expansion. And, the meaning of the Three of Wands is that, this is supposed to be the young emperor here. And mind you, it's Michelle Knight. But this is supposed to be the young emperor here. And they are looking out, surveying. These ships here in the water are their ships. It's their cargo. They are surveying their business. They are surveying their their assets, to that type of energy. And the advice of the Three of Wands is to make sure to keep a watch of that, and expand if you need to. This is all about this young emperor here watching, like I said, his ships going out into the world, my darling Aries. So, I feel that it's something very strong for you this week is a new project or goal, wish or dream that you're wanting to get off the ground. I feel that this is the week you should release it, my darling Aries, because all the cards that are showing here, and even with that reveal what needs to be seen, are encouraging you to do that. This card here, it's encouraging you to put out into the world what you want to be seen. It's encouraging you to put out into the world what you want to come back to you tenfold. And that's, I speak a lot about the law of attraction, and what you give out comes back to you, my darling Aries. And this is no different. What you are sending out into the world will come back to you. As long as you're sending it out with confidence, you're sending it out, with the knowledge that this is what you want to happen. You can't be wishy-washy about, oh, should I do it? I'm not really sure. Should I? If that's the energy that you're in, my darling Aries, if that's the mindset that you're in, then you're going to get back wishy-washy results, is what I feel for you. So just remember that what you give out comes back to you. And I feel that if you step forward with confidence and go forth with confidence, reveal, this project, goal, wish, dream, whatever it is, with confidence, it's going to come back to you tenfold, my darling Aries. That's what I feel for you off this so far, definitely. And then, you can't make this up. Then you have the Chariot. And the Chariot is all about success and moving forward with willpower, with, driving forward with ambition, my darling Aries. This is a card of Cancer as well. So look, if you have Cancer in your chart anywhere, I would definitely go and tell you to watch the Cancer reading as well. But this is just another confirmation, my darling Aries, of your ideas, releasing them to the world and driving forward with success, my darling Aries. I feel that if, you really need to, if there is a project, goal, wish or dream that you're wanting to drive forward, now is the time to do it, my darling Aries, because I feel a lot of success here coming in for you. Just with all the cards that are here and the beautiful Chariot as well, you're being told that you, and I'm not going to say that you cannot fail, because, it's going to be up to you, my darling Aries. But, as there's a saying that I like, and I don't know whether it was Nelson Mandela or the other one, Martin Luther King. I'm not sure whether it was either one of those, but they said, I never fail. I either win or I learn. And I feel that that is how you need to go into this week, my darling Aries, with that mindset of you cannot fail. You either win or you learn. And I think going forward with that mentality this week will just propel you to the next level, my darling Aries. So look, I've put it all together already. I just feel that the fortunes are definitely turning in your favor. I spoke about that at the start. But like I said, you need to control the wheel. Make sure that it's spinning, that you're wanting it to spin in your favor, not out of control. put out into the world what it is that you want to put out into the world, my darling Aries, because it is going to be successful. You are going to run forward with this idea with gusto. It is your time to reveal what needs to be seen, my darling Aries. So yeah, this is amazing energy for you, my darling Aries. Yeah, love it. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I would love to know, if what goal, wish, or dream is it that you have, that if you'd like to share that, I'd love to be your audience. Share it with us, and put it out into the world. Speak it out loud. When you speak something out loud, the universe cannot help but put that into motion for you, my darling Aries. All right, let's see what final messages we have for you. Compromise. Look, yep, there may be some kind of compromise that you need to put out there, and that could be with, like I said, taking control of that wheel. There may be something that you need to compromise on. You can't make this up. There's your big happy changes, my darling Aries. So I'm loving this for you. And here we go again. Abundance. Love it. Exactly what I'm seeing here, and exactly what I've just been talking about pretty much the whole entire reading. Within the next few weeks, they say, reconsider. Well, what I feel that is the reconsider is that we've come out of Mercury retrograde now, and it is now time to reconsider what you've been working on, because it's time to reconsider holding it back, because now it's time to let it go, my darling Aries. So you've got some divine energies coming in this week, my darling Aries. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Taurus. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So my darling Taurus, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Shell Knight Tarot cards, and then finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Taurus. So we should be coming out of Mercury retro shadow this week. So things should start to move forward. The readings I've done so far, the energies have been, things of moving forward, completion type of energy. So let's see what's coming in for you. Open up to change. Yeah. And, it may be, my darling Taurus, so this is new moon in Aquarius, it may be that now that Mercury retrograde, the dust has cleared, you're being encouraged to open up to change, my darling Taurus. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, I feel that there is a lot of forward movement, and that could be forward movement for you, could be moving forward with a new goal, wish, or dream, being open to things that change. Sometimes I feel that, we feel that, that change can be hard. I know some people aren't good with change, and, it is a case of allowing, whatever's meant for you will not pass you by, my darling Taurus. So, allow the change, even though you might not be able to see why something has changed. I feel, sometimes it's like when we get the Tower card, or, even the Death card, people are like, oh no, change. And it's like, no, but change can be good. Sometimes if we don't recognize that change is coming, the universe will, make the changes for you. So I feel like it's always good to be open to change. You can always change back, my darling Taurus. All right, let us see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Taurus. What does Taurus need to know? 9 of Swords, and you've obviously been worried about it. 4 of Pentacles, and holding on too tight to the past. And there's the World card. Yeah, like I said, change. Here is, like I said, I think I said there was a lot of completion energy around. Well, here it is here, my darling Taurus. All right, so what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords in the tarot is a card of, you can see that, look, she's not happy. She's feeling, looks like, exhausted, worried. It is a card of anxiety and worry. It's a card of having swords literally hanging over your head, my darling Taurus. Being in the sleepless nights, playing things over and over and over in your mind, my darling Taurus. And, you need to release this energy. I know it can be hard, but something is causing this energy with you, my darling Taurus. So I feel that, if you are having sleepless nights, if you are having anxiety and worry, do whatever you can to get out of that energy, my darling Taurus. Often even just going for a walk can, help clear your head, can help, get out of your head, my darling Taurus. That's what I feel you need to do here, is get out of your head. And I feel the best way to do that is either exercise, helping someone else, or just taking your mind off it by being preoccupied, my darling Taurus. For myself, when I'm all up in my head and things like that, I switch off by working out. And usually by the end of that workout, I have solved the problem in my head. The workout goes like that because, I'm doing it unconsciously, but I'm also, it just usually comes to me. So go for a walk, get out of your head, my darling Taurus, and try and clear this energy, because it is literally holding you back here with the Four of Pentacles. I feel that this is you holding too tightly onto something, my darling Taurus, and it's stopping you from moving forward, my darling Taurus. I like to say with this card, what are you holding on to for fear of letting go? You can see she's holding on tightly to this pentacle here. She's, almost sitting on these two, and she's got one on her head for whatever reason. But yeah, the Four of Pentacles is that sometimes they call it the miser card in the tarot, but it's holding on too tightly to something. And I feel that when we hold on too tightly to anything, it will just slip through your fingers. But if you can just allow, you leave it in your hand, cup it, allow something to happen, it stays there, my darling Taurus. Give it space. Don't give it the energy to keep growing, to keep getting worse, my darling Taurus. I feel with with this Four of Pentacles that you just need to release. You've got the anxiety and worry with that Nine of Swords, and it's like a vicious circle almost for you, that you can't let go of that, so you're holding on too tightly to this. And, I feel that the message for you for this week, my darling Taurus, is A, let go, and B, be open to change. Be open to something new, my darling Taurus. That's what I'm getting here for you with these cards, because here is your outcome, my darling Taurus. You've got the potential here for a whole brand new beginning. Step through to a brand new beginning. The world is the end of the fool's journey, my darling Taurus. It is the end of the journey that you have been on. So, and it's a completion energy. So you can finish one journey to start another, my darling Taurus. But if those other energies are holding you back and stopping you from completing what it is that you need to complete, then you're going to feel stuck, my darling Taurus. And maybe it's change that is not allowing you to move forward, my darling Taurus. I feel that actually could be quite is what's happening quite strongly here, is that because you've got that open up to change as your overarching energy, that it could be that you're just not wanting to change the trajectory that you are on, my darling Taurus, but that trajectory that you're on is causing you anxiety and worry and causing you to hold on too tightly when you don't need to. So be open to change, my darling Taurus, because this beautiful world is opening up for you. This world is allowing you to step through to a whole new world, my darling Taurus. So this is what's here for you if you can just let go of this, my darling Taurus. That's what I'm feel is coming in for you. I have put it all together anyway, but yeah, release this anxiety and worry. Go for a walk, do exercise, get out of your head, help someone else. Release what is holding you back here, my darling Taurus. Release what it is that you're holding on to too tightly for fear of letting go, whatever that is. Be open to change and step through to this, step through into a beautiful new world, my darling Taurus. Loving it. Love, love, love for you. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I am very active and interactive in the comments. So if you've got, if you see something down there that I can't see, by all means, put it in the comments. I do not mind at all. If you resonate with this, let me know. I'd like to know that it's getting through. Yeah, just let me know. All right, let's get final messages for you. Yeah, get more information, they say. And I feel that is part of you being able to move through this energy, is to, if you're stuck on something, get more information so it's clearer for you. Trust, trust, my darling Taurus, that the universe has a better plan for you. Communicate clearly. Yes. Don't communicate out of fear, my darling Taurus, because I feel that will hold you back. Perfect timing, they say. Yes, it is. Because you got a yes. There it is. So this is what is your potential for you this week, my darling Taurus, if you can just release, this anxiety, this worry energy, and, move through. You've got the energy here to be able to move through to a whole beautiful new world, my darling Taurus. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Geminis. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Geminis, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then finishing off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Geminis, what messages does Gemini need to know for the week of the 18th? Full moon in Aquarius. Be real. Yeah. So I'm feeling for you this week, my darling Geminis, that you're being encouraged to be your authentic self. And I'm actually drawn to, even though this is, and when it says full moon in Aquarius, the star card in the tarot is Aquarius energy. And I know you're a Gemini. But what I'm drawn to here is this figure with an urn that looks remarkably like what is on the star card. And so, I feel that there could be that star vibes around you, that hope, faith, renewal type of energy. You're being encouraged to be real, to be your authentic self, my darling Geminis. So let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you for this week, my darling Geminis. What does Gemini need to know for this week? open all my cards. I am such a hopeless shuffler. And these cards are really stiff too, so I can't even shuffle them the normal way because they don't bend, and I end up flicking them out everywhere. But anyway, yeah. All right, let's get your messages. Six of Wands, love it. King of Swords, he has come out a lot. That energy and the Justice. Wow, yeah, love it. Love, love, love. All right. There's authenticism, if ever I saw it, with both those cards. Anyway, all right, my darling Gemini. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together. So you start off here with the Six of Wands. Now, the Six of Wands in the tarot is a card of victory and success. You can see the victory wreath she is holding here. In the traditional tarot, I don't think that's on there. Might be. She's got like the victory, you can see, it's very hard to see, yeah. She's got the victory wreath on her head, or the crown, victory crown, and then she's got a crown on top of that wreath. So there's, two depictions of victory wreaths here on this card, my darling Geminis. So what I feel is there's some kind of, you're being celebrated this week is kind of what I feel, my darling Gemini, or you're feeling that there is just this victory and success that you have, because I feel that there is some kind of karmic justice coming in for you, my darling Geminis. And I'm only because I'm seeing what's on the table here and the energy that is coming in. But you are being encouraged to be your authentic self. So to not, maybe you have this beautiful victory coming in, my darling Geminis, but to not, what's the word? Be real, be authentic, but to not rub it in. That's the word. So clearly you've had a win here, my darling Geminis, which I'm loving for you. That's beautiful energy. You're being celebrated. You can see these people here, they're celebrating her return from war, I think it is. So maybe you have felt that you have been through some kind of battle, my darling Geminis. And with the Justice card here, I feel that it could have been some kind of legal battle, maybe. Maybe it was a custody battle. Maybe it was an insurance type of battle. Maybe it was somewhere where you feel, or something where you feel that an injustice had been done, my darling Geminis. But you are victorious here. This is what I feel. So I feel like there was some kind of, I'm skipping ahead. If there was some kind of injustice done to you, that this week you will get justice, my darling Geminis, because you've got the King of Swords here. And like I said, he's shown up a lot this week. So the energy of the King of Swords, I feel that, this is the energy that is around, at this time. This is where we're being encouraged to be in the energy of the King of Swords, where he sits in indifference, my darling Geminis, where he is not emotional. He is just no nonsense, to the point, clear, concise, knowledgeable, but can be a little bit cold, or can come across a little bit cold because there's no emotion here. Just, I know where I stand. This is what I want. This is what I deserve. And I feel that is your energy. Not that you're cold, my darling Geminis. I don't mean that, but I mean that I feel that you're no nonsense this week, or that you should be no nonsense this week, that you should be in this, I know what is right. I know that I am right. I know that will stand up for your beliefs is sort of what's popped into my head. And I like to say that he's holding here the Ace of Swords, which is the Ace of Truth, my darling Gemini. So maybe, speaking your truth this week, and you've got the Sword of Truth but twice here with the Justice card too. Her sword is down, but I always say I feel that is the Sword of Truth there. And I feel that you've got it here as well. So I feel that there is going to be, you in this energy, and it's hand in hand with the Be Real card. You are real. You are being real here. You're being authentic, my darling Geminis. But you need to be in this energy to get this energy, I feel. So then you have the Justice card. So I feel for you, there is, like I said, there is some kind of justice coming in for you. Like I said, whether it's, winning a lawsuit, or some kind of insurance payout, something, something that's turned out in your favor, my darling Geminis. And this is also Libra energy as well. So if you have Libra in your chart, I would definitely go and say watch the Libra energy, watch the Libra reading to get more clarity. It is a fellow air sign, but I feel that this is your outcome. This is your outcome, but and because of this, you will be celebrating, my darling Geminis. That's just what I feel. Or that you will be celebrated, my darling Geminis. That you have some kind of, if it's not a payout or anything, like that, I feel that it's karmic justice that's coming in for you, that you've been, your due karmic justice, my darling Geminis. You can see, it's like I said, she holds the sword, or she has the sword of truth here too. She has the scales of balance, meaning that balance has been restored and she is righteous, my darling Geminis. So I feel for you that you're definitely some kind of karmic justice, some kind of justice is coming in for you this week. But I feel like, so if I'm going to put it all together, I probably already have, but I feel it's important for you to be real and authentic this week, my darling Geminis, to sit in indifference here, to speak your truth and your truth only, to have no emotion at all, to just be real, speak your authentic truth, and your karmic justice will be on its way to you, my darling Geminis. And because of that, you will feel victorious. You will feel successful. You will be celebrated for this victory and success, for whatever this outcome is, my darling Geminis, which is divine energy for you, my darling Gemini. So I feel there's definitely some kind of win coming in for you this week, my darling Geminis. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I'd love to know if this resonates. So put it in the comments, just put the little scales of justice in the comments if this resonates with you. And, let me know. I'd love to know if this is on track. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Geminis. Yeah, if you believe, ask, believe, receive, my darling Geminis. Here is the golden opportunity for you, my darling. I feel that this is what's the outcome of that victory and success for you, my darling Geminis. Yeah, big happy changes finally on their way to you, my darling Geminis, because, yeah, you've got that karmic justice coming in. A year from now, they say, now don't freak out. It's, just could be that, a year from now, you're being told to reconsider. So this card, reconsider, has come up a lot. I don't know if it's just because of the way I'm shuffling the cards, but I shuffle them. So maybe I need to shuffle them better. But I mean, I read the cards. I'm not going to try and influence them in any way. So it could just be that you're being asked to reconsider, how you deal with these big happy changes, my darling, Geminis. So, but I feel, with this energy that's on the table, there is, some kind of win coming in for you this week, my darling Geminis. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Cancerians. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Cancerians, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then finish off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Cancerians, what messages does Cancer need to know for this week? We are moving out of retro shadow, which is divine. I think all the readings that I've done have been quite positive or moving forward type of energy. So last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind, my darling Cancerians. So I think this will be a really good time for you to clear your mind. Now that that retro energy is over, now that the retro shadow is over, it's time to clear, whatever energies were maybe holding you back, whatever kind of energy came up during that, Mercury retrograde, any kind of, rethink, rework, redo kind of energy that we go through during the retrograde. Now's the time, my darling Gemini. I was going to say Gemini. My darling Cancerians, to clear that energy, because it said Gemini, I think, on there. So that's what I'm. Anyway, so yes, my darling Cancerians, time for you to clear your mind, I feel. All right, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming through for you, my darling Cancerians. What messages does Cancer need to know for this week of the 18th of August? Five of Pentacles. Devil, he just came up for Aquarius. And so did the King of Cups. Now I shuffled those, so yeah, some energies hanging around. All right, my darling Cancerians. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the Five of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Pentacles is a card of feeling, lack and limitation, and, feeling as if you have been left out in the cold in some way, my darling Cancerians. But, the solution to the Five of Pentacles is to, release that energy. Do not call attention to your weaknesses, my darling Cancerians. That's the energy of the Five of Pentacles. You can see they could easily go inside this church and find salvation. There is an easy solution to this Five of Pentacles, and it's just to not call attention to any kind of weakness that you have, my darling Cancerians. If you've been bogged down with that energy of, with the devil here, have you had, toxic energy around you? Have you been absorbing toxic energy? Have you been, absorbing the energies of other people, which have caused you to absorb these energies yourself, my darling Cancerians? So that's what's bringing me to that clear your mind card, is that, or the importance of that clear your mind card is to really clear these kind of energies out of your head, my darling Cancerians, and don't call attention to any, weaknesses, to any feelings of lack or limitation, because what you think about, you bring about, my darling Cancerians. That's the law of attraction. So only think about what you do want, not what you don't want, my darling Cancerians. Because then you've got the Devil card here as well. And this is Capricorn energy. So if you do have Capricorn in your chart, I would say go watch the Capricorn reading, because there could be a message there for you. But the Devil card is, you can see on here that the chains are loosely around these people's necks. It is a card of bindings. So has someone, got some kind of hold over you, my darling Cancerians? And if so, release those chains. They're very loose chains. You can take them off, release them, walk away, my darling Cancerians. Do not call attention to your weaknesses. Move forward, gather your energies, clear your mind, my darling Cancerians, so this energy here does not weigh you down. You need to release, if this is, like I said, I don't feel this is you that has these toxic energy. I feel that you've absorbed this toxic energy from people around you, my darling Cancerians, because that's what I said at the beginning, and that's what I was feeling, is it's not you that has these toxic habits, my darling Cancerians. It's that you have absorbed these energies from people around you, and it's time to clear your mind, release these toxic energies so you can move forward, so you can release that feeling of lack and limitation that, you know, is bringing you down, my darling Cancerians. That's just what I'm feeling here off the Devil card. And then you have the beautiful King of Cups. So this is your savior here, my darling Cancerians. I feel that you need to embody. I feel that you are embodying this energy of the King of Cups this week, my darling Cancerians. You know, the King of Cups sits on his throne amidst choppy waters, sitting, you know, being clear and comfortable in their emotions, not being swayed by the choppy waters around them, my darling Cancerians. And this is the energy that you need to embody this week, my darling Cancerians, to not worry about what's going on around you, but to sit in emotional stability. Be emotionally comfortable in yourself to be able to clear your mind and release those toxic energies that you have absorbed, my darling Cancerians. That is what I feel is coming in for you. And look, there's no gender in the tarot, so male or female, it's just the energy of the card. And the energy of the King of Cups is that he sits in bold, you know, he sits on his throne amidst choppy waters, but remains emotionally stable and emotionally calm amidst all the chaos that is around him. And I feel that that is what you need to embody this week, my darling Cancerians, because I feel that there is a lot of emotional, I don't know, toxic energy, emotional turmoil around you. So if I'm going to put it all together, I just feel that you are being encouraged to clear your mind this week. Clear your mind of this toxic energy. Clear your mind of feeling lack and limitation, my darling Cancerians, because it's no longer serving you. You can release these chains. You can see how easily they can come off. Release the ties that bind, my darling Cancerians. Release this feeling lack and limitation. Do not call attention to your weaknesses here, my darling Cancerians, and embody this energy of the King of Cups. Sit on your throne amidst the chaos going on around you and remain emotionally stable, my darling Cancerians. That's what I feel is coming in for you this week. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. You know, I would love to know if this resonates with you, so just drop me an emoji even in the comments. It helps my channel grow and, you know, lets me know that, you know, you're enjoying my readings. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Cancerians. Yeah, look for a sign, they say. So if you need, you know, further guidance, look for that sign. Ask your angels, my darling Cancerians. Improving health, yeah. That will just be a byproduct of you releasing that toxic energy. And trust. Trust that you can get through this and release those energies, my darling Cancerians. Trust that you have everything you need to do that. In the near future, they say, there's something better. There sure is, my darling Cancerians. There is definitely something better coming in for you. But I feel that it's up to you to clear your mind and just release whatever that toxic energy is, my darling Cancerians. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Leos. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th. If it is your birthday this week, my darling Leos, a big mwah, happy birthday from me to you. I know there's only a couple of more days from the 18th to, I think, like the 22nd of August, but my sun is the 22nd of August. So a big happy birthday to my beautiful son, Braden. He does not watch tarot, but that's his loss. But no, he's very spiritual anyway. But my beautiful boy, is a beautiful Leo. So I have a very soft spot for Leos. My husband is also a Leo. So yes, big happy birthday to you, my darling Leos. All right, let's get into your reading. So we're going to start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight tarot cards, and then we'll finish off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Leos, what messages does Leo need to know for this week of the 18th of August, 2025? So we're out of Mercury retro shadow this week, and hopefully things will start moving forward for you, my darling Leos. You've got first quarter moon in Virgo. Assess the situation, my darling Leos. So there could be something that's come up for you, and this could be, now that we're past all that retro shadow energy, all that, retrograde energy, it could be a good time now to take a step back and just, or put into action what it is that you have been assessing while this Mercury retrograde has been going on, my darling Leos. So, we'll just have to dig in a bit deeper to see what that's about, but let us consult the tarot and get some messages for you. What does Leo need to know for the week of August the 18th? What does Leo need to know? Six of Pentacles, King of Swords, and the Six of Wands. I love it. I feel here I can already sort of see what's, happening here, but I won't jump ahead just yet. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I will intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is that energy of reciprocity. So it's energy of give and take. You can see here the scales of balance. Here, it is a card of restoring balance, my darling Leos, or making sure that you're not giving too much and make sure that you're not taking too much, my darling Leos. So, it'll be different for everybody, but, I just feel that there is that balance being restored. That's what I'm hearing. That's what's popped into my head is, balance to be restored, somehow in your life, my darling Leos. It could be that, that the energy for you has been, either too much of you giving of yourself or too much of you taking. And this is why, it comes in that you're being asked maybe to assess the situation, assess whether that has been the case, my darling Leos. Assess whether, your energies have been balanced here, and balance them. That's pretty clear from what I'm sort of seeing with that Six of Pentacles card. And then you have the King of Swords. So I feel for you, my darling Leos, that you're presenting here as the King of Swords. That you're in that, with that assess the situation mode, that you're in that mode of, cutting through the crap, so to speak, and just focusing on this situation, my darling Leos. I'm very drawn to that assess the situation card. Like, I feel the overarching energy this week is important for you to take note of, my darling Leos. So, and you can see here the King of Swords, the King of Swords is all about, he's, the court cards are, they're male or female. There's no gender in the tarot, so don't worry about that. It's just the energy of the card. And the King of Swords is, he sits on his throne in knowledge and wisdom. He has gained all the knowledge and wisdom that he needs. And I feel that that is you, like I said, with that Six of Pentacles card, I feel that you have gained the balance back. And if you haven't, you need to. And you need to embody the energy of this King of Swords, my darling Leos, to be in that energy of indifference. You know, not to be cold, because the King of Swords can be quite cold, but more to be in that unemotional energy, if that makes sense, my darling Leos, to not bring emotion into whatever this situation is what I feel you need to do, or would serve you well this week, my darling Leos. To not get emotionally involved, to just be logical, to be thoughtful, to be, you know, to be logical and thoughtful, I feel is sort of the energy that you need to be in. You know, maybe speak your truth. He, you know, sits here holding the Ace of Swords. Well, that's what I like to say, that he sits holding the Ace of Swords, which is the sword of truth, my darling Leos, and it cuts through any of the crap, and it just gets to the heart and the truth of the matter. And I feel it would benefit you this week to embody this energy, my darling Leos, because when you do, here comes the Six of Wands. This is you being celebrated for some kind of victory or success. You can see, you know, she's on her white horse. It's like she's come back from some kind of battle or some kind of journey, my darling Leos, and she has the victory wreath here, and she's also got the crown on her head. In the traditional tarot, this is actually another victory wreath around, you know, their head. So, you know, I feel that there is the potential, my darling Leos, for you to feel that you're having a win here, my darling Leos, if that makes sense. You can see all these people here, they're celebrating her, him, like I said, no gender in the tarot. In this stance, it's a her, but they're celebrating this person. They are putting them on, you know, a pedestal of some sorts. They are, you know, cheering them on, my darling Leo. So it could be that you have people this week cheering you on, which would be a divine energy for you. But I just feel that it's important for you to, you know, assess the situation, get to the heart of it, and this could potentially be your outcome. You know, being unemotional with, you know, an outcome or, you know, a situation, goal, wish, dream, whatever that is, will benefit you, because, you know, you'll be able to see with embodying, you know, the King of Swords energy, you'll be able to see the heart, the truth of the matter, my darling Leos, and become victorious. So I love this for you. And look, I've already put the whole reading together, but yeah, you know, just to give you a recap, assess the situation, I feel that's important, and I feel that is what you will do as the King of Swords here this week, is assess whatever situation is, you know, in your life right now, balance your energies, you know, bring the balance back to the situation. Don't give too much to it. Don't, you know, take too much from the situation. Find the truth of the matter, my darling Leos. You know, sit in the knowledge and the wisdom that you have gained so you can assess the situation, move forward, and become victorious, my darling Leos. Oh, I'm loving this for you. So yeah, big, beautiful energies coming in for you this week, my darling Leos. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. You know, I am very active and interactive in the comments. I'd love to know if this, you know, resonates with you. Pop it down below and let me know. And, you know, if you've got anything to say, if you can see something that I can't, please put it in the comments. I do not mind at all. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Leos. And yeah, here it comes. Get more information. You can't make this up. This is the universe saying I meant what I said. That is the King of Swords energy, is getting more information, getting to the heart of the matter. You know, even with the Six of Pentacles, is getting to the heart of the matter, restoring balance. Yeah, look for a sign, they say. There may be some kind of sign. Look for the sign, the synchronicities, whatever it is. Yeah, Very important for you this week to listen to your intuition, my darling Leos. You know, that could play a big part in this week, is to trust your inner ding, as Louise Hay used to say. A year from now, they say, there's something better. Yes, there is. Now, don't panic with you thinking, oh my God, I've got to wait a whole year. It's not what I'm meaning here, but I feel that, you know, come back to me in a year's time and tell me that this, you know, whole chain of events didn't, you know, work out, you know, more in your favor, my darling Leos. But I can see some beautiful energies coming in for you this week, my darling Leos. I feel that things will be starting to move forward for you. So thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Virgos. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. If it is your birthday this week, my darling Virgos, a big mwah, happy birthday from me to you. I know it's the start of Virgo season coming in, so and the end of Leo season, so you little Virgos will be on the cusp. I'm on the cusp. It's my birthday next week, so I'm looking forward to that. I love birthdays. I love birthdays. I love Christmas. I'm the biggest kid out there, and yes, so if it is your birthday, happy birthday, my darling Virgos. I hope you have a beautiful birthday. Drop me in the comments a birthday emoji if it is your birthday. All right, my darling Virgos, we're going to start off with a Moonology manifestation card as an overarching energy. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then we will finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, let us consult the tarot. Oh no, consult these, not the tarot, the oracle cards, and see what we have for you as an overarching energy, my darling Virgos. What does Virgo need to know? Now, we are coming out of Mercury retro shadow this week, so, and the readings that I've done so far have been sort of moving through energy. So let's see what we've got coming in for you. Oh, that's nice. New moon in Libra. Know that you are loved. Yes, you are, my darling Virgos. Love, love, love. I love you. If you feel nobody loves you, I have so much love in my life. I'm very blessed to have love surround me. So, you know, just if you're feeling that, you know, it is your birthday and nobody cares about you, I'm sorry that that's happened, but you are loved, my darling Virgos. Like I said, I love you. So don't get yourself down about that, you know. Just believe that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of abundance. You know, you are worthy of all good things coming to you, my darling Virgos. So let us consult the tarot here and see what messages. I mean, I love that overarching energy. Know that you are loved. That might mean that there's going to be a lot of love coming in for us this week because it's our birthday season coming in, my darling Virgos, which I'm loving. Like I said, I love this time of year. I don't love the weather here. It's freezing still. But I am going on holidays soon. But don't worry, readings will be done in advance. So I'm hoping that everything goes all right with those. But yes, anyway. All right, my darling Virgos, let us get messages for you. 8 of Cups, yeah, walking away from what no longer serves you, balancing your energies, looking forwards. I feel that's us, actually, when that came out. And I feel the 8 of Cups has come up in other readings I've been watching too. So I do feel that us Virgos are being encouraged to walk away from something that is no longer serving us. Anyway, I'm going to give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together. So you start off here with the 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups is that energy of, you know, walking away from what no longer serves us, my darling Virgos. You can see here, you know, she's got 8 cups here, but she's leaving them behind. She's walking away. They haven't satisfied her. She is looking for more. my darling Virgos. And sometimes it can be hard to walk away from a relationship. It can be hard to walk away from a job. It can be hard to walk away from a family member or a family. It can be very hard when you can love the people, you can love the job, you can love the person, place, thing, whatever. But if it's not making you feel good anymore, sometimes we need to do what is best for us, and that's to walk away, my darling Virgos. And I'm drawn to the eclipse here. This is only like there's only one card in the tarot that has an eclipse, and it's this one. And we are coming in, I think it's September, that there will be eclipse season. And I think the eclipses happens in, or the next lot of eclipses, I should say, they happen in Virgo and Pisces, which are opposite signs. So it'll be one to watch, my darling Virgos, I think. But I just feel that this is good change, if that makes sense. I feel that for it to be coming up in my readings, and for me to see them in other people's readings as well, kind of makes me feel that the universe is saying, I meant what I said, that this is the energy around us at the moment. If you've seen other readings too and you've seen this card come up, drop it in the comments, because I'd like to know. I definitely have seen this around for the Virgos to be moving on, But I'm also thinking not just leaving something behind, but maybe changing. What we're leaving behind is the way we used to do something, if that makes sense. Not leaving it behind altogether, but we are leaving behind the way we used to do it to change it to something better, so it is more aligned with us, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I don't feel that we're going to leave something altogether and just walk away. I mean, that it could be for some people, but I'm not feeling that kind of finality, if that makes sense. I'm feeling that it's more change, that we're walking away from one way of doing something and then changing it to make it better, or to to balance it out, because I've got the Six of Pentacles here, my darling Virgos. And speaking of the Six of Pentacles, this is all about balance. You can see the scales of balance here. The Six of Pentacles is a card of reciprocity. It's a card of giving and receiving and balancing our energies, my darling Virgos. So it's that card of, if whatever we give out comes back to us tenfold. So if you've been giving too much, it's time to take back. If you've been taking too much, it's time to give back, my darling Virgos. So, it'll be different for everyone. I find it hard to believe that a Virgo takes too much. We are often givers, and with giving too much, we can often burn ourselves out and, be just, putting so much into something and not getting anything out of it. I feel that we need to only put our energy into what will serve us and give us some kind of not reward, not recognition or reward, but some kind of, what's the word? Some kind of it gives us something. Put it that way, my darling Virgos. I can't think of the word right now, but I can see it, I can feel it. It gives us fulfillment. Something where it gives us fulfillment. And that's going to be different for everybody. Whatever fulfillment means to you, whatever you're putting your energy into is what you're going to need to get back in the form of fulfillment, my darling Virgos. And it's not necessarily monetary. It could be, a feeling, whatever makes you feel good and gives you that feeling of fulfillment, my darling Virgos, is what I feel you need to balance here. And I feel that might be what you need to change and walk away from is, with that Eight of Cups, is what isn't working for you. Change that, walk away from that, to then allow what is working for you so your energies can be more balanced here, my darling Virgos. So yeah, big energies. And then we have the King of Swords. Now I feel that we are presenting this week, and he's the big Mr. King of Swords has turned up a couple of times already in people's readings. So I feel that we're being encouraged to embody this energy of the King of Swords, my darling Virgos. And look, this could be another person that is coming in, but I don't feel that. I feel that this is us, that we need to embody this energy of being indifferent, of knowing where we stand. We've got everything we need. I mean, sometimes the King of Swords can be quite cold energy. Like, it can be straight to the point, matter of fact, just get it done type of energy. But sometimes we need to be in that energy to avoid the drama, if that makes sense. Sometimes we need to release putting too much emotion into something to get it done properly and to get it done the way we want it done, my darling Virgos. And I'm not saying that you need to be cold or anything like that, but I'm saying that you need to be maybe matter of fact, just get it done. And I say that he holds the Ace of Swords here, which is the Ace of Truth. You may need to speak your truth at some point this week, my darling Virgos, to get your point across, to be able to change what it is that you want to change and move from what's no longer serving you into what can be and what should be serving you, my darling Virgos. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting this week. And with that, know you are loved, I just feel that, don't listen just because you need to know that whatever you do, whatever course of action that you take, you are loved, my darling Virgos. That's what I feel is happening here. And I've already put it all together and said, things that I just feel that there is a change you need to make. So walk away from that change, balance your energies, be the authority, speak your truth where you need to, my darling Virgos, because I feel that's the energy we need to be in this week, my darling Virgos. All right. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. Let me know in the comments, like I said, if it is your birthday, drop me a little birthday emoji down there, and so I can give you a personal happy birthday. And please like this video. All right, let's get final messages. Oh, romance. So romance is always open to us. And look, we've got that Know You Are Loved card. So amongst all of this, know that we are loved, and, romance could be in the air. Ooh, this is what here's the golden opportunity, my darling Virgos. And I feel that this is what will happen when we can release or change what isn't working for us. Yeah, and there will be a peaceful resolution, my darling Virgos. I do feel that. With the Six of Pentacles that's come in here, I do feel that there'll be, peace coming in. In the near future, they say, reconsider. So the reconsider cards come up quite a bit in these readings. And I do feel that it's more, we're being encouraged to reconsider energies here, not necessarily to reconsider the whole, your whole life, but just maybe reconsider what you thought was, right here. And I feel that with the Eight of Cups, you are being encouraged here to reconsider what you thought was the best way to go here, and you are being encouraged to change that, my darling Virgos. So thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Librans. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Librans, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then finishing off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Librans, what messages does Libra need to know for this week of the 18th? Now, we should be coming out of retro shadow, Mercury retro shadow this week, so energies should be moving forward. Most of the readings I've done so far, they've all been positively moving forward. So we have unleash your kindest self. First quarter moon in Capricorn. Yeah, love it. So, my darling Librans, you are being encouraged to be kinder. And I feel what popped into my head as soon as I pulled this was be kind to yourself, my darling Librans, because it's kind of saying unleash your kindest self, but I feel unleash the kindness to yourself, my darling Librans, because I mean Librans, as most of the Librans I know are very kind. Anyway, they're kind, compassionate kind of people. They're very even-tempered, so I feel that, but that's to other people. So I feel that you're being encouraged, my darling Librans, to be a bit kinder to yourself this week. I feel, even though that's not what it says, but I feel that means to you. So let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Librans. What does Libra need to know for this week? Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords, and the Six of Swords. I've not seen her come up for a while, but I love it. The Knight of Swords, the King of Swords has come up a lot in these readings. So, and that's your suit, is the air, is the swords is air. So, there's been a lot of that energy around, and I think Gemini actually had the King of Swords. So, which is your fellow air sign. So I feel there's a lot of, this kind of clarity type of energy coming through, my darling Librans. Sorry, I was just contemplating what's on the table here. All right, so what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together. So you start off with the Knight of Wands here, and this is fire energy. The Knight of Wands is, moving forward. It's bold, assertive type of action, my darling Librans. So I feel this week, whatever it is that you are doing, you need to come from a place of bold, assertive action. Really push forward with what it is that you're wanting, my darling Librans, to, just move forward with confidence is the word that's popped into my head, my darling Librans. You can see, she's taking this horse by the reins. She holds the Ace of Wands in her hand and is moving forward, going forward with bold, assertive action. And the Knight of Wands is like the true builder of the tarot. So if he comes to, a water with a separation of water and there's no bridge, he will build the bridge to get over it, my darling Librans. So I feel that you're just being encouraged this week to move forward, be assertive, but go forth with bold, make bold, assertive moves this week, my darling Librans. Because then you have here the Queen of Swords, and I feel for you, whereas the King of Swords has been showing up for a lot of people in these readings where they're being encouraged to embody that energy. I feel you're being encouraged to embody the energy of the Queen of Swords this week, my darling Librans. So like I said, that's the queen of air. It's the queen of your suit, my darling Librans. She, sits on her throne. She has clouds, as you can see on here, halfway up her body, which means, and she holds her sword up and her hand out, which means she is open to receive, but she has gained clarity, my darling Librans. And I feel that that's you this week, that you have, whatever it is that you've gone through, you will be embodying this energy of the Queen of Swords. You have gained, you're sitting in clarity here. You don't need to be wondering which way to go, because you know which way to go, my darling Librans. Like I said, you will take bold, assertive moves because you are clear on which direction you are going, my darling Librans. And with the Six of Swords here, I feel that that's you moving on here. You've gained the knowledge, you've got the clarity here, you know which way to go, and you're going to move forward and move away from whatever hasn't worked out for you, whatever is not working for you. You're going to move forward, but with bold, assertive moves, my darling Librans, and be sitting in that energy of clarity, knowing that you're doing the right thing, my darling Librans. So yeah, that's what I'm getting here off the Queen of Swords, that you're embodying this energy. And look, male or female, there is no gender in the tarot, so it is just that energy of the card, which is clarity here, my darling Librans. And then you have the Six of Swords. So as I said, Six of Swords, this is moving on. You're moving away from what isn't working for you. You're not going to keep working on something or keep doing something that isn't giving you what you want, my darling Librans. That's what I feel here for you. You can see on this card, she's got this little bag here. She's got the clothes on her back, and she's got these swords in her boat, and she is moving forward. She's moving away from what no longer serves her, what doesn't fulfill her anymore. These swords represent the lessons and the love. In her bag, that little bag there, are all the tools she needs, are all the tools you need, my darling Librans, to move forward, take the lessons and the love that you've got, that you've learnt, and thrust yourself forward. Embody this energy. As I said, be assertive. Move forward with bold, assertive action, my darling Librans. But make sure that you don't take your baggage with you. Don't take the bigger baggage with you. Only bring with you your tools, my darling Librans. Take the lessons and the love, but move forward. Leave your rest of your old baggage behind, my darling Librans. That's what I feel is happening here. I mean, you could also be moving. The Six of Swords is also a card of moving. So, maybe you're being, maybe you're in the thrusts of, moving, and that's why you need to be clear and take bold, assertive action. So you could literally be moving house, could be traveling, things like that. So that's also the meaning of the Six of Swords. But if I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you, my darling Librans, I just feel that you're being encouraged to be kind to yourself here. And being kind to yourself is moving away from what no longer serves you and taking the lessons and the love. What I'm also drawn to here is her looking to this, almost her North Star here. Her gaze is looking up to this star, going, this is the direction I'm going to follow now. So I feel that that's important for you. You're clear on where you need to go, my darling Librans. Go forth with bold, assertive action. That's what I feel is happening for you this week, my darling Librans. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I would love to know if this resonates, so drop me a comment. I'm very active in the comments and I'd love to have a chat. So yeah, if you want to say something, I do not mind at all. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Librans. Ask your angels. Yeah, if you're unclear or you're feeling not sure about what you're doing is the right thing, meditate. Ask your angels. Yeah. Well, part of, I think, the Six of Swords is that recovery as well. Moving forward, moving away from what isn't serving you. Remain positive, they say. Yeah, I think that's very important, is to to remain in that positive attitude of this is the best thing for me, my darling Librans. Within the next few weeks, they say, yeah, you'll choose a new direction. And that's where you're going with the Six of Swords, is onwards and upwards, my darling Librans. That is really what I feel is going on here, is that you're moving away from what no longer serves you. You've gained clarity. It's time for you to be kind to yourself, my darling Librans. I see beautiful things on the way for you. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Scorpios. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Scorpios, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we're going to move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Scorpios, what does Scorpio need to know? So we are coming out of that Mercury retro shadow, and there's been a lot of energy around of moving forward, moving on, moving away type of energy, which is good. Yeah, I love this. New moon in Sagittarius. Focus on the positive. So you are being encouraged this week, my darling Sagittarians, to focus on positivity. Focus on what brings you joy and happiness. Focus on, what makes you happy, my darling Scorpios. That is what I feel you need to do this week. It's no good focusing on, what isn't working out, what isn't making you happy, because that's just going to give you more of that energy, my darling Scorpios. So you are being encouraged to focus on the positive. So let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Scorpios. Love it. The Empress. Well, there's your positive abundance. Knight of Swords, yeah. Love. Getting it done. And the High Priestess. Wow, yeah. Love it. You might have had the High Priestess last week, maybe with me. I'm not sure, but I think that was right. Anyway, I'm already getting good vibes from this reading, my darling Scorpios. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the beautiful Empress card. So the Empress in the tarot is a card of, abundance and effortless abundance, my darling Scorpios. You can see she has the symbol of Venus here, which is fertility. It is basically the birth of something new, my darling. It's also the feminine symbol, by the way, with Venus, but it is that card. And look, this doesn't matter, male or female. It's just the energy of the cards. We all have feminine and masculine within us. So all those macho men out there, don't feel that you cannot have some Empress within you, because this is a beautiful energy to have. This is you embodying that energy of, fertility, of abundance, of effortless abundance, my darling Scorpios. So, she sits on her throne here with this wheat here, and she hasn't got a scepter in this depiction, but all she needs to do is wave that scepter over that wheat and it grows. So, this could literally be the birth of a child. So if you're not wanting to get pregnant, watch yourself. But you may hear of someone that's pregnant. You may be pregnant. Your partner may be pregnant. Take that how it resonates. But it could also be that you have this spark of brilliance where it is the birth of a new idea, my darling Scorpio. So, take that how it resonates. But just with what else is on the table, I feel that it's important for you to focus on that positive energy. Focus on the abundance around you, my darling Scorpios, so you can bring more of that to you, is what I feel. And then you've got the Knight of Swords here. So the Knight of Swords, I mean, in this depiction of the Knight of Swords, this person is just sort of standing there. But in the traditional tarot, this Knight of Swords is going like a bat out of hell. He is going like, it's fast moving type of energy, my darling Scorpios. It's also a card of gallantry, I should say, of, you know, someone coming to the rescue, maybe. Take that how it resonates. So is there someone, you know, are you coming to someone's rescue this week? Is there something, you know, or is someone coming to your rescue this week, my darling Scorpio? So take that how it resonates, but it's also, I feel it's also fast moving energy as well. So if there's something, you know, that you're wanting or that you're putting into practice, it could come in fast for you, my darling Scorpio. So that's just what I'm getting off the Knight of Swords here. And then you have the beautiful High Priestess card. So the High Priestess is a card of using your intuition and, you know, making sure that you trust your intuition, my darling Scorpios. You know, you can see here these pomegranates here at the back of her. And during the time the tarot was put together, the pomegranates were a symbol of, you know, wealth and success. They were a symbol of opulence because they were hard to grow, just like the grapes that you see in the tarot, on the tarot cards. They have that same sort of symbolic meaning of almost royalty, my darling Scorpios. And you can also see that she has no roof over her head here, which means she has limitless potential, limitless abundance, my darling Scorpios. But I do feel it's important for you to, you know, trust your inner ding, as Louise Hay used to say. So if you're, you know, something's coming to you and it makes you feel bad, trust that. Maybe that's not right for you. But if you feel something and it makes you feel excited and energized and, you know, happy, go with that. You know, feed that feeling. Focus on the positive. Get more of that, my darling Scorpios. But I do feel that it is a good time for you, and it is necessary for you to trust your intuition here, my darling Scorpios. So if I'm going to put it all together, I just feel that you're in that space of, you know, I suppose you've got, and, you know, I feel it, you've got this idea or something that you want to bring, like something new that you want to bring into the physical realm, like whether it is an actual child or it's an idea, my darling Scorpios. Go with that, because I feel that when you focus on the positive, you're going to bring it into fruition, and trusting your intuition here and you know, going with what makes you feel good will make this come in super fast, my darling Scorpio. That's what I'm getting for you. I feel it's a very simple message, that you're just being encouraged to focus on the positive, you know, and just trust that what you're going to bring, or what this new idea that you're going to bring in, or your new person that you're going to bring in, is going to be successful, my darling Scorpios. That is what I feel for you. So yeah, beautiful energies coming in for you this week, my darling Scorpios. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. You know, I would love to know, just put in the comments if you can, just drop me an emoji, just lets me know I'm on the right track. If you've got something to say about this, that you'd got a different idea, put it in the comments. Don't mind at all. I'd like to, you know, start a dialogue. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Scorpios. Yeah, ask your angels. If that goes hand in hand with the High Priestess card. If you are wondering what way to go, you know, go within, but also ask your angels, because they are the ones that will give you those feelings, my darling Scorpio. Yeah, can't make this up. There is your abundance. That is the universe saying, I meant what I said. So that is your Empress card. And interestingly enough, which I'll show you actually now, we've got in order 2 and 3 here. So we've got the High Priestess and the Empress comes after the High Priestess in the Major Arcana. So very auspicious reading, I feel, for you this week, my darling Scorpios. Let go and let it flow. Focus on that positive, but let go of any energy that is not serving you, my darling Scorpios. You're ready, they say. Oh, yes, you are, my darling Scorpio, and do not stop. Don't stop, my darling Scorpios, because what you have here is amazing potential energies to really bring in what it is that you have been wanting, my darling Scorpios. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Sagittarians. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Sagittarians, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then we will finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Sagittarians. Oops, dropping the cards all over the place, sorry. What does Sagittarius need to know for this week of the 18th of August? So we should be out of Mercury retro shadow, and hopefully things will start to move forward. The few readings that I've done so far, we have some forward momentum, which is good. See the bigger picture, my darling. Oh, this is your moon. Full moon in Sagittarius. I love it. See the bigger picture, my darling Sagittarians. You know, with your full moon showing up, you need to pay extra attention, I would say, to this, my darling Sagittarians. Seeing the bigger picture, you know, and look, this is what happens when, you know, we've been in Mercury retrograde. It's been a bit, you've been sort of, things have been, you know, going forward, coming back, going forward, a bit foggy. Now is the time, once, you know, this energy is clearing, for you to see this bigger picture, my darling Sagittarians. So let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Sagittarians. What does Sagittarius need to know for this week of August the 18th? What does Sagittarius need to know? 2 of Pentacles, the World, and this Page of Swords. Wow, I love it. All right. There's your bigger picture right there. I don't want to jump ahead, but all right. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I will intuitively put the reading together. So you start off with the 2 of Pentacles. So the 2 of Pentacles in the tarot is a card of work hard, play hard. It's a card of, you know, needing to balance your energies. I mean, there's a few cards in the tarot of balance, and the readings that I've done so far have been a lot about balancing energies. So, you know, I feel that this is going to be, now that Mercury retrograde is over, that we are going to, you know, move forward, but balance your energies, my darling Sagittarians. And you can see here this giant, these 2 pentacles here, where they're glowing, make up this giant infinity symbol. You know, the infinity symbol in the tarot, there's only 4 cards that has it, and it represents infinite possibilities, my darling Sagittarians. So I feel for you that, you know, it's important for you to balance your work and play. Don't work too hard, don't play too hard. Or if you play hard, work hard as well, my darling Sagittarians. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I just feel it's important for you this week to balance those energies and realize that you have infinite possibilities here, my darling Sagittarians. And then you have the beautiful World card. So the World card, this is the end of the Fool's journey. It is a completion, my darling Sagittarians, this is like you coming to something that you're working on coming to a completion, my darling Sagittarians, or something that you have been wanting to attain coming to a completion. This is like stepping through to a whole new world. Something is done. It's now time to move through. Find, like that, see the bigger picture card. This is your bigger picture, as I said. When I pulled the card, it was like, whoa, this is your bigger picture, my darling Sagittarians. This is where you want to end up, at the end with the world. Having gone through the whole fool's journey, my darling Sagittarians, and then ending up with the world, that whole, completion type of energy where you've gone, like I said, on that fool's journey, and it has been all about the journey, not the destination. But once you get to the destination, it starts all over again. There is no real, it's not going to stop. There is no completion as far as stopping. You just complete one thing to start at something else, my darling Sagittarians. That's what I feel here for you, that you are coming to the end of something that you have been working on, that you have been working towards, whether that is goal, wish or dream, whatever that is for you. I feel that you seeing the bigger picture here will allow you to, come to this completion, so then you can move on to the next thing, my darling Sagittarians, whatever that is for you. I feel that's important here for you. Then you've got the Page of Swords here. So I feel that, if you've been watching me for a while, that I say pages in the tarot are messengers. And I feel that this little fella, he's coming in, the Page of Swords can also be spying, or someone's watching you. So, take that how it resonates. If you're prominent on social media, or, you've got a prominent business, or you've got a prominent, you put yourself out there, my darling Sagittarians, I would be careful maybe of someone, spying on you, wanting to take, maybe steal ideas from you. I don't know why that's popped into my head, but it has. So, I have to say it if it pops into my head. But I feel that you're being watched, my darling Sagittarians. Whether that's good or bad will remain to be seen. But I feel, or maybe you, my darling Sagittarians, are the watcher, not the watchee. Maybe you're watching someone. Maybe you're trying to get new ideas, new inspiration, things like that, and you're the one watching here. But, I feel that usually the Page of Swords comes in when there's more for you to, I guess, learn. The pages are a young energy, so it could be a young person that is watching you, or you could be watching a younger person. So that's just what's popping into my head, my darling Sagittarians. So take that how it resonates. But if I'm going to put the whole reading together, I feel that, like I said, with that, see the bigger picture, your full moon in your sign, I just feel, it goes hand in hand with the completion. Full moons are at the end of the cycle. We have a new moon, and then you have the first quarter moon, third quarter moon, whatever, and then you have the full moon. So I feel completion energy is here for you, my darling Sagittarians. So with the see the bigger picture, like I said, I feel that, you need to balance your energies here, but I feel that you do have this infinite possibilities with the Two of Pentacles, with this infinity symbol that's showing here. So, but yes, I feel for you, there is something coming to a completion, so you can step through to the start of something else. And like I said, the pages, well, they're the start of the suit, so they're new, they're young, they're a new energy, a young energy. So, I feel that it could be important for you to, just be aware there could be someone watching you, but I feel that, that there is something new maybe starting for you, but you need to see the bigger picture here, my darling Sagittarians. Yeah, so That's what I sort of feel. That's really all I'm getting, my darling Sagittarians. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. You know, I'd love to know if this resonates with you, and maybe what is it that you're completing here? Do you have something that you've been working on that you feel is coming to some kind of completion, my darling Sagittarians? All right, let's get final messages for you. Yeah, it's up to you, and it definitely is. You know, whatever way this is going to be up to you, my darling Sagittarians. The situation will improve. Yeah, love it. I can feel that anyway, just with the World card. I feel that that will happen. Yep, look for a sign, they say. So look out for signs, synchronicities, anything like that, you know, that makes you go, oh, or it gives you inspiration, or, you know, that makes you maybe think differently, my darling Sagittarians. Within the next few weeks, they say, you may need to reconsider. So and that's what that's kind of what I feel off this Page of Swords, and I don't know why, but I get a weird feeling off the Page of Swords that it's, you know, some kind of, not bad energy, I don't feel that, but I feel that that could be there to throw a spanner in the works, so to speak, my darling. This page could upset the apple cart, so to speak, my darling Sagittarian. So just be aware of that energy that's coming out, but you are being encouraged to see the bigger picture. But I do feel that there is some kind of also completion that you might be coming to, or that something may be completing this week, my darling Sagittarians. Amazing energies coming through. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Capricorns. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Capricorns, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight tarot cards, and then we'll finish off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Capricorns. What messages does Capricorn need to know for this week of the 18th? Now, we are coming out of Mercury retro shadow this week, so the readings that I've done so far have been positive, moving forward, things like that. So let us see what's coming in for you. Woo! Go wild, my darling Capricorns. Full moon in Leo. Love it. And we're still going to be in Leo season for a few days at the start of this week, up until the 22nd. And then Virgo season comes in. So, yeah, go wild, my darling Capricorn. So I feel, you know, you're being encouraged here that, you know, to have a bit of fun, to let your hair down a little bit, my darling Capricorns, to maybe be so serious, my darling Capricorns, if you are so inclined. You know, just let your hair down and go wild, enjoy. You know, we have had, like I said, Mercury retrograde, so it may have been a busy time. You may have been going over a lot of things. You may have been feeling that, you know, that you know, you're just busy. You're being encouraged this week, my darling Capricorns, to go wild and just maybe let your hair down a squidge, I would think. All right, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Capricorns. What does Capricorn need to know for this week? Moon. Well, there we go. Full moon in Leo, the moon. 2 of Pentacles. And the Lovers. Ooh. All right. So maybe you need to go wild with a relationship, my darling Capricorns. I shall leave that to your imagination. All right, so what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together. So you start off here with the moon card. So this is Pisces energy as well. So if you have Pisces in your charts, you've got Pisces here and Gemini as well. So, see if you've got Pisces, like I said, if you've got Pisces in your chart, you should maybe go and watch Pisces on Gemini, Gemini reading as well, just to get a clearer picture. Or these may relate to people in your life. So take it how it resonates. But the moon is all about what is hidden in the shadows, my darling Capricorns. The moon, when it's the moon illuminates, but it illuminates also what is in the shadows, my darling Capricorns. And when you have a full moon and it illuminates the skies, it does cast shadows. So I feel for you, that maybe there has been some things that have been hidden from you. They either have been or they are being hidden. But I feel this week that, with Mercury coming out of retrograde, that these will be revealed to you this week, my darling Capricorns. I don't feel that this will be still in the shadows. So, and look, the moon is a temporary energy as well. The moon comes up, the moon goes down, the sun comes up. So it is not a card that is, that hangs around. It is part of the fool's journey, the moon. The fool has to go through this path down the middle of the moon to the mountains. So, the I don't think it's on this one. There's two different moon cards in this deck, but traditional tarot, there's a dog and a wolf and a crayfish or a lobster, whichever you want to call it. And the dog and the wolf represent, the wild and the tame, and the crayfish represents, the sea and on the earth, or the sea and the earth type of arrangement, sea and the land type of energy. So, I just feel for you that what was once in the shadows will be revealed to you this week, my darling. Or may not be revealed, but it will no longer be in the shadow, my darling Capricorns. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is a card of, work hard, play hard here. You can see the two pentacles above their head, and it's forming this giant infinity symbol here. And the infinity symbols in the tarot represent infinite possibilities, my darling Capricorn. So I feel for you, you're being encouraged to balance some kind of energies here. And although you've got that go wild card, so I'm assuming that maybe you've been working too hard, so now it's time to go wild and play, my darling Capricorns. But just don't overdo it, is what I feel here for you. There's a few cards of balance in the tarot, and this is may not mean that to everyone, but to me, it's a card of, juggling, work hard, play hard type of energy. So, be aware to not give your energies, don't work too hard, don't play too hard. Even though you have this go wild card, I would feel that this has come up just to remind you, don't go overboard, my darling Capricorns. So yeah, take that how it resonates. And then you've got the Lovers. So as I said, this is Gemini energy. So if you do have Gemini in your chart, then go and watch the Gemini reading as well. This could literally also be a Gemini in your life. And look, this could be a relationship as well. I'm not getting full-on love vibes from this reading, but love is always open to us, my darling Capricorns. So, take it how it resonates. This could be you are being asked to balance your energies in a relationship, my darling Capricorns, or that what was hidden in a relationship is now being revealed, my darling Capricorns. And now you can balance those energies out because it's not all one-sided, if that makes sense. So in the traditional tarot, the Lovers used to be called the choice card because it's a card of coming to a crossroads, making a choice or a decision. It's like the card depicts Adam and Eve, you know, in the garden with there's, I think, clouds and then an angel and then the sun above the angel. And it's, you know, a little bit about temptation, my darling Capricorns. But it is that the mountain in between them represents an obstacle or a mountain that they need to overcome, my darling Capricorn. So I feel for you that there may have been something that may have been hidden in a relationship that is now going to give you clarity. But it is now time, now that it's come out of that moon phase, it's time now for you to make the decision as to which way it goes, whether you go ahead with the relationship or whether you end the relationship. So that's going to be up to you, my darling Capricorns. But I feel here with the, you know, as I said, with the juggling energy here, that this is what you've been weighing up, my darling Capricorns. You know, it's been hidden. It's going to be revealed to you. You're going to see it. You're going to weigh up your options here. You know, just remember you have infinite possibilities here, and you're going to have to make this choice or a decision. You're being encouraged to go wild, but I would, you know, also balance your energies as well. Don't work hard, play hard. Don't work too hard, or don't go too wild, is what I feel, my darling Capricorn. So yeah, you know, take that how it resonates, but that's just what I'm sort of getting for you this week, my darling Capricorns. Yeah, something's around. So, but go wild. If you want to go wild, go wild. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. You know, let me know if this resonates. You know, I'd love to start a dialogue. Drop a comment down and let me know if this means anything to you. If you can see something I can't, you know, always put it in the comments. I do not mind at all. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Capricorns. Yeah, obviously this is about a relationship because the romance cards come up. So, you know, take it how it resonates. It doesn't have to be a romantic, even though it says romance. It could be, but, you know, it doesn't have to be. It could be any relationship. If you believe, they say, yes, ask, believe, receive. You are being encouraged to communicate clearly. And that is what I feel here. That, you know, if this is a problem that you need to sort out, then communication is going to be key for you, my darling Capricorns. Not the right time, they say. You choose a new direction. Yeah. Look, you know, it could be that this relationship ends. And look, I hope if it's not right for you and it does end, then you feel that it's for the best, my darling Capricorns. You know, ending something is never an easy thing. But with this, I just feel don't go too wild, my darling Capricorns. I don't want to see you, you know, go too wild and out of control, because that's not what you are. That's not who you are, my darling Capricorns. So thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Aquarians. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Aquarians, we're just going to jump right in. Start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then finish off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Aquarians, we are moving out of retro shadow this week. So all the readings I've done so far have been positive, moving forward type of, you know, that no longer being sort of stuck type of energy. So let us see what is happening for you, my darling Aquarians. Full moon in Capricorn. Take a reality check. This one, I have not seen this card come up before. So, yeah, right. Take a reality check, my darling Aquarians. And look, now that we are out of that retro shadow, it would be a good time for you to take a stock take of, you know, where your life's at. Where is it? What's happening? Where are you right now, my darling Aquarians, is everything working out for you? Is your life going in the direction you're wanting it to go? My darling Aquarians, only you will know that, and it'll be different for everybody. So maybe it'll be a good idea to take some kind of reality check, my darling Aquarians, just to see where you're at. All right, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Aquarians. What does Aquarius need to know for this week? Six of Pentacles, King of Cups, and the Devil. Well, there's your reality check right there, isn't it? Although this is Capricorn energy, and we've got the full moon in Capricorn, so there might be a Capricorn in your life that, or you could have Capricorn in your chart as well, my darling Aquarians. So take that how it resonates, but yeah. All right, what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off with the Six of Pentacles, and this card has come up a few times in these readings because I feel it's a good time to restore that balance, my darling Aquarians. You can see here the scales of balance here. The Six of Pentacles is a card of reciprocity, my darling Aquarians. It's that card of, giving and receiving. It's a card of making sure that you're not giving too much, and it's also that card of making sure you're not taking too much. So it is really that card of balance, or making sure that you're not giving too much to one thing and not another, if that makes sense, my darling Aquarians. It can also be a card of, incoming money as well, that, someone's going to give a gift to you. So take that how it resonates, but I'm not feeling that energy. I am feeling more that it's that it could be balance type of energy coming in for you, my darling Aquarians, but take it how it resonates. Then we've got the King of Cups. Now I feel in this reading that this is you, my darling Aquarians. I feel that you are coming in, or you are represented here as the King of Cups. I feel that you're embodying that energy. Now, there's no gender in the tarot, so male or female doesn't matter. It's just the energy of the card. And the energy of the King of Cups is that he sits on his throne in choppy waters, stable, emotionally stable. That doesn't get rattled, doesn't, just no one can knock him off his throne, so to speak. That, he's got all his emotions in check, my darling Aquarians. So with that take a reality check, I kind of feel that the reality check that you need to take is, are you feeling this energy? Are you feeling that you are in control of your emotions, my darling Aquarians? Because I feel that if you're not, that's what that devil energy is. It's creeping up to knock you off your throne, so to speak, my darling Aquarians. So I feel that it's important for you to feel, or to balance with this Six of Pentacles, to balance your emotional energy, my darling Aquarians, to not give too much of yourself or not take too much for yourself, if that makes sense, my darling Aquarians. Because then you've got the Devil card. So the Devil is Capricorn energy, as I said. So if you have Capricorn in your chart, go and watch the Capricorn reading. But this is also, the Devil is a card of being bound to something, or having that, you can see these two people here have got a chain around their necks, very loose chain, and he's not even holding on to that chain. You know, they could easily slip that chain off and walk away, but he has some kind of hold over them. And it's that hold over them that is, you know, stopping them from moving forward, that's stopping them from whichever, you know, goal, wish, or dream that they want, is because they can't move forward because they're bound to this energy, my darling Aquarians. It's also could be, you know, some kind of toxic energy or some kind of toxic habit, like an addiction, whether it's, you know, alcohol, food, shopping, on, you know, gaming, gambling, you know, some kind of toxic addiction that can hold you back, my darling Aquarian. So, you know, be aware if you have any of that in your life. You're really being encouraged here to balance those energies out, to release whatever this toxic or bindings that are holding you back, my darling Aquarians. So that's just what I'm feeling off here. So if I'm going to put it all together, and I probably already have, but, you know, with this take a reality check card, I do feel that you're being encouraged to take stock of where you are. Take stock of where you're giving your energies, or what you're giving your energies to, my darling Aquarians, and embody the energy of the King of Cups, where you know, sit in amongst choppy waters, but feeling emotionally stable. You know, not taking too much, not giving too much. You know, balance your energies out so this toxic energy here can be released, my darling Aquarians. That's just what is coming in for you. It's a very simple message, I feel. I don't feel I need to sort of go on too much more about that, my darling Aquarians. It is what it is. So if you are enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. You know, I would love to know if this resonates. So just drop me even an emoji in the comments. Love heart. I'd like a love heart if you can, if you enjoy the reading, or just something. You know, put a cup in the comments if you feel you're emotionally stable and strong, my darling Aquarians. All right, let's get final messages. Yeah, no need to worry, they say. I feel that. I don't feel that this devil is anything to worry about. I just feel it's energy that, you know, you need to release, my darling Aquarians. And look, you can't make this up. Here's the scales of balance, compromise. You know, that's what was coming up in that Six of Pentacles. Balance your energies, my darling Aquarians. Yeah, the situation will improve. Love it. And I feel that too, that devil energy is not going to hang around for long, my darling Aquarians. A year from now, they say, you'll have a beautiful big exclamation yes. Love this for you. Now, don't panic thinking that it's going to take a year. I feel that a year from now, you're going to look back on this and go, what was I worried about? You know, my darling Aquarians, because, you know, all this energy that's coming in, scales of balance, I just feel you're going to be on top of this and work it out. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Pisces. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 18th, 2025. So, my darling Pisces, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Moonology manifestation cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then finishing off with angel answer cards. So, my darling Pisces, we are coming out of retro shadow this week. So all the readings that I've done so far have been very positive, all moving forward type energies. So that is a good thing. All right, let us get your overarching energy. Talk less, feel more. Last quarter moon in Pisces. Wow. So I love that. With this, you know, this card coming out for you in your sign, this message is definitely meant for you, my darling Pisces. So you're being encouraged this week to talk less and feel more. So maybe there is, you know, now that we're coming out of that Mercury retro shadow, that it's a good time for you to just reassess what's important to you. Go within, really decide where you want to go now. Now that the energy has cleared and you can move forward, where is it that you want to move forward, my darling Pisces? So, yeah, love to see that for you. All right, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Pisces. What does Pisces need to know for this week? The Lovers. Ooh. Six of Pentacles. And the Knight of Wands. Okay. All right, my darling Pisces, what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the beautiful Lovers card. So the Lovers could be, it's Gemini energy. So if you have Gemini in your chart, I would encourage you to go and watch the Gemini reading as well, because there could be a message there for you. But, what I'm feeling here is I feel this is actually love. I feel this is about a relationship, my darling Pisces, for you. And it's a relationship that may be a bit troubled at this time, and I don't mean that in, not that you're having problems, but I feel that there's an energy of coming, like, because this is the energy of coming to a crossroads, my darling Pisces, and coming to a crossroads in a relationship. Now, if it's not love, it could just be, a friendship. It could be a work colleague. It could be a boss. It could be a family member. So take that how it resonates. But, if this is a love relationship, I feel that you're coming to some kind of crossroads here in this relationship. And with this, you're being encouraged to talk less, maybe listen more to a partner. If this is, if this resonates with you, then you may be encouraged to maybe listen rather than talk, and feel. What is it that you feel, my darling Pisces? Do you feel that, is this relationship worth saving, my darling Pisces? If it is, then take action to heal that relationship, my darling Pisces. But I feel for you, with the talk less, feel more card, that you're being encouraged to not be the one doing all the talking, if that makes sense, my darling Pisces. So yeah, take that, how it resonates, but that's kind of what I feel here. Then you've got the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is a card of reciprocity. It's a card of giving and receiving, my darling Pisces. So, are you giving too much in this relationship? Are you taking too much in this relationship? And really be honest with yourself here as to what it is. What part of this relationship are you playing here? What part do you play in this relationship, my darling Pisces? Are you playing the part of the giver or the taker? And if it is either one, balance those energies, because you can see the scales of balance here, my darling Pisces. I feel it's really important for you to balance these energies out, because a relationship cannot be sustained when one person is always the giver and one person is always the taker. You cannot sustain that relationship. There has to be an equal flow of give and receive, my darling Pisces. And I know what I'm talking about, because I have been married I've been with my husband for 30 years, but we have been married for 25. It's not always easy. It's not always, you know, easy street or anything like that, but I know myself that we cannot, if the status quo is upset, we feel it. You know, if I feel that he's taking too much and I'm giving too much, or I'm taking too much and he's giving too much, things start to get rocky. You know, we can feel it, but we don't, we work through it. That's what, you know, a successful relationship is all about. It is recognizing when that balance is off and rectifying the balance, my darling Pisces. So take it from me, you know, balance in a relationship is very important. And then you have the beautiful Knight of Wands. So, you know, I feel what's going to happen here is that you're just going to be taking bold, assertive action, my darling Pisces. I feel that this relationship is important to you. And I feel that you're going to do whatever it takes, my darling Pisces. I feel that you are going to do whatever it takes to fix this relationship. You are, you know, because it's important to you. So the Knight of Wands, you know, holds the Ace of Wands. She's taking this horse by the reins and taking bold, assertive action. She is moving forward. She is doing what it takes to go where she needs to go, my darling Pisces. And I feel that that is you this week. You are taking bold, assertive action towards fixing, repairing whatever this, you know, whatever is needed in this relationship. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a work colleague. It could be a family member where the balance has, you know, it's upset the balance. It's upset the status quo, so to speak, my darling Pisces. So if I'm going to put it all together, and I probably already have, but I just feel that you know, this is about a relationship. There's no doubt about it. That's what I feel. And it's an important relationship. But like I said, it doesn't have to be love. If it is love, it's your partner. If it's not, it could be, like I said, a friendship, a work colleague, family member, whatever. But I feel here that, oh, my voice just went. I feel here that the balance here needs to be restored. Hence the scales of balance, my darling Pisces. And I feel that you're taking on the job of repairing this relationship. You're being encouraged to talk less and feel more. So don't charge ahead with, I want to do this, I want to do that, this is where it needs to be. I feel that you need to charge ahead with repairing this relationship by listening more, by feeling more, my darling Pisces, by really listening to the other person and feeling what they feel in this relationship, my darling Pisces. So I hope that makes sense, but that's really what I'm getting here off this reading for you, my darling Pisces. So if you are enjoying the reading so far, please give it a thumbs up for me. You know, I would love to know, you know, if I'm on the right track here, and if so, please, you know, just give me a comment, put it in drop me an emoji, something like that. Even, you know, a heart or a little scales of balance or something like that. So love to know. All right, let us get final messages for you, my darling Pisces. Yeah, love it. Success. So this is your outcome, I feel. And I do feel that this will be successful because you're taking charge here, my darling Pisces. Yep, you may need to get more information, and definitely do that, my darling Pisces, if you need to. Yeah, can't make this up. Be assertive. This is you. This is the Knight of Wands, my darling Pisces. This is the universe saying, I meant what I said. You can't make that up. And there again, take action. You heard me say, take action. Like, this is blowing my mind right now. And you've got a divine yes with an exclamation point, my darling Pisces. So, you know, what I see here is it is very important for you to take bold, assertive action here. Be assertive. Take action. In order for you, my darling Pisces to get your yes. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.